Okie dokie. Heaven's Vault. A game that hopefully doesn't crash my computer. I don't know why these things happen. It's also a game about translating an ancient language. I was about to say in space, but I mean, this is... I'll let the game speak for itself.
Stories don't have tidy beginnings.
Yes, it can speak for itself, definitely.
The past is always present.
Yes, she's introducing the narrative framing of the game. We're here at the end of the game.
But there has to be a spark. Something that brings the past to light.
Where we will soon find a very important thing. I will be interacting with the robot. I forgot that I had to do this, because I have played this game before. So, I am an archaeologist. And there's a stamina meter and everything. The game is a little odd. I have an overarching perspective. But yes, robot, whose name I do remember but I shall not say, shall rest until that red bar at the top fills up, I guess. Is it alright to go now? You've changed your posture. I'm guessing it's alright to go now. Look at that big statue. But how weird this game is to control. Bricked up opening? What? It'd be bricked up. Isn't that so odd, Six? I've said the robot's name. Just chicken strip things. A bricked up opening. Ooh. There is something here. We didn't come all this way for nothing. To keep people out, do you think? Or to keep something in? There's something written here. An ancient script. This must have been cut in when the mortar was still wet. But I think I can read it. Hey! Roll credits. If you don't know, that's the title. Heaven's Vault. The game we're playing. Look at that sparkling mist. Anyway, some weeks earlier, at the University of Arcs, I am wandering around.
My story begins on Iox. That was where I met the robot.
I think I'm going to be friendly to the robot. I have played this game before. And honestly, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of secrets and hidden things that I don't. Mistress Alaya Lazara. I have been waiting for you. I have been asked to escort you to Professor Miari. She is very anxious for your arrival. And who are you? I am a robot, mistress, as is apparent. This way. Do you have a name, robot? Is that intended to be a joke, mistress? No? Robots do not have names. We are, as I understand it, interchangeable. I've known a few robots. They're all a little different. How kind of you to say so, mistress. And how are things on Iox? Iox does not change, mistress, or so I am assured. It is the single point of stability within the whirling nebula above. This way. You should know that the professor's urgency was remarkable. Questioning and replying. So this is the map. There's also an entire timeline. I forgot how fast-paced this game was, in that, like, the robot wants you to respond without, like, there's timing to the responses. It's quick timing. I will reply to whatever the robot just asked. Maybe we should keep her waiting. Don't want her making a habit of impatience. I cannot recommend that course, mistress. Went over not. You can't be giving me another robot. They normally wait for me to lose the ones I'm given. I beg your pardon, mistress. You don't know my history with robots. Why is Miari's room so far from everything? I imagine she enjoys a view of the tree, mistress. I'm sure it is most pleasing to her. I'm gonna look at her. Look at her. She looks like a tiger in a cage. The most curious analogy, mistress. You understand, I will be required to report it. Do I want to reply? Required to? Of course. Professor Miari is my primary user, mistress. Nevertheless, I will try to sugarcoat your opinion. Oh. Great. Good to know you've got my back. Shall we proceed? No, I'm going to look at the tree. Tree of knowledge. Or so they call it. Each branch grows more branches. I like how I have to speculate on everything in my timeline. Except for the ones that die, fall off, and are forgotten. Which is where we come in, I suppose. I am going to keep Mistress Marg waiting for a long while. I went outside the university grounds once exploring. It's a very beautiful moon. You can tell it was once lush, fertile. There must have been huge forests, lakes, rivers. They're all but dry now. I suppose they cut down all the trees to make chairs. Or ships. How did you get so clever, Six? Ah, it appears that the conversation is finished. Do I really have to see Miari yet? Get into my office this instant. Professor, is that you? Get in here or I'll tell the dockers to slash the ropes on your precious ship. Mistress, a liar. Apologies for shouting, mistress. I must replicate tonal patterns when delivering messages. Really? That seems... She treats me like a child. The professor recorded that section of message specifically, mistress. She anticipated that you might stall for time. I just don't want to talk to her. Like, you gotta believe me, Six. She's really not...
15 when Miari rescued me from the slums of Elbereth and brought me here.
Oh.
I'd never seen such luxury or such kindness.
Really? Tell me what you really think. What do you think of this sculpture, Six? It has a pleasing balance to it. Worth the time it took to make? Do you think? When there are people on Elbereth who don't eat? Are your own exploits worth the time they take, mistress? Should we not be making history rather than reviewing it? Oh, you're a clever one. If you don't know history, you can't understand people. You can starve them or oppress them, but you won't understand them. Fine, I will talk to Mariah. You're not my mom, foster mom.
I still don't know why she did it.
Professor Miari? I keep saying Mariah Miari. Elia, there you are. Come in. Do you want this robot to wait outside? And why would I want that? Thank you, Professor. It's good to see you again. Is it? Me or the robot? Really, don't be so uncouth. Did you bring me here to insult me? I'm just going to antagonize her. Obviously not. You're an expert on history. Tell me what you make of this. Oh, it's certainly old. Empire period. The device is the eagle and the sun. One of the scholars sent this brooch to me. Janiki Renba. Did you know him? Did? Look at the detail before I throw you out. I see them, ancient markings. I know they're a hobby of yours, Alaya. But can you read them? Here we go. Better gameplay than talking to... Okay, the talking's pretty good. It's just, I've never seen either of these groupings before. But the two words have some common elements, so they must have related meanings. Well... Is this one holy? And is this one emperor? Was an empire period brooch holy emperor? But I'm only guessing. What is this about? Janique, he told me he'd found something. That was over a month ago. Ah, yes, did. Janique isn't like you. He's an Ioxian through and through. What's this got to do with me? I would have thought that was obvious. I can't go hunting the nebula for missing people, Alaya, but you can. When did you say he was missing? So call him. I can't. Wherever he is, he's on his own. Not everyone is required to travel with a robot. Where did he go? Can I stop talking to you? He told me he was going to a moon called Mercy. I want you to find him. That's what you do, isn't it? Find things? I'll see what I can dig up. I just want my conversation with you to end. I'm sorry, Mayari. Get out of my office, you Elberithian rat, and you're taking the robot with you. Come on, robot. We're not welcome here. Wonder if you can name it anything other than 6. You are not welcome, mistress. Be seeing you, Alaya. Yeah. Be seeing you. I'm not gonna... I annoyed Nyari just now. How do you feel that went, mistress? Fine. It went fine. And will we go to Mercy, mistress? What do you think? Should we wait on her every room? Professor Mari is my primary user. You might say I am biased. Ugh. Really? Have you been to Mercy, robot? No, mistress. Obviously, it is a moon of little importance, I believe. Oh? So why would this Renba go there? I have no idea, mistress. Renba was a roboticist. Mercy has no robots, as far as I am aware. No robots. Sounds very nice. Robots are very rare, mistress. Most of the nebula is not graced by our presence. So why am I graced by your presence, robot? A measure of the faith Mayari puts in you, mistress, I'm sure. Yep. Okay. Time. So, yes, Elbereth, Iox, and Mercy. There's also Renekai. I don't know why that's still out there. Should we go down, mistress? No. I'm having fun talking to you. Not progressing the game, because one thing I did the last time I played this was not have every single piece of dialogue unlocked, which I wanted to do. Sensitivity is... Can I just say, Mistress Alaya? It is wonderful to be accompanying you. Yes? And why is that? I find humans fascinating. You are very different to most here. I've only recently been activated. I'm calling you 6. 6, mistress? I shall remember that. 6 will remember that. I wonder if I got Mayari's translation correct. I think I did. The shape shows this is an emperor piece. Empire piece. Emperor. Tick. So yes, this is less... I mean, the confirmation, and the emperors believe themselves to be gods. So it makes sense that the words would be almost the same. Holy. The, unlike Chants of Sanaa, where you can type in what you want, this just gives you some options, but it does the same confirmation, so you end up with a translation at the end. But it still doesn't tell me, where did this thing come from? Alaya, tell me, are you still wasting your time on your curious notions of history? History isn't mine. It belongs to everybody. Most of us are decent people, Alaya, and do not want it. You should devote yourself to a real science. Metallics, maybe. Loop philosophy. History is a science. I'm just going to be stubborn and talk back to everyone. It's the exploration of the past through evidence and theory. Honestly. Oh? Most people think you will not be content until you have unearthed your own skull. Good faith to you, Alaya. May the waters light your way. Asshole. I really hate him. Understandable, mistress. God, everyone on this moon is so stuck up. It's understandable. They don't even believe in history here. They think the past and the future are the same thing. Like time was a loop. Like time was a clock face, mistress. It is quite rational. Do you believe it? Of course not. The Great Loop goes against all observable properties of time, not to mention basic entropy. But I have observed humans do not find contradictions hard to accept. I wonder if there is possible to... Can you pause after text speed slower? Just by a little bit. I want to actually read what they say. Oh? Contradictions like what? Like you, mistress. You dislike robots and you rely on them. You are interested in history, yet you ignore your own. You are interested in people, and yet you prefer to be alone. Well, you managed to make me out quite quickly. Isn't everyone like that, though? Evidently not. Yes, 6, what do you have to say? 6, what do you know about the Loop Temple? I know little of the Loop, mistress. The Loop priests claim that life is a great cycle. They believe that all that happens has happened before. Uh-oh. I'm choosing the Q question ones. Literally happened? Do they think we've had this conversation before? I believe that is the idea, mistress. I'm just choosing questioning because it opens up more options. Is it true? The probability of it is incalculable, mistress. There is no meaningful data. Oh? Really? Well, I happen to have played this game before, so surely that makes a loop already. Anyway, 6. Now that I have exhausted that one... Oh no, the Loop Temple is extremely well praised, mistress. They have a lot of money and significant power. Alaya! No, I'm carrying on a conversation with 6 here. I didn't know you were back on Iox. How are you, Huang? Well enough, well enough. I've been reading all day. I just came outside to rest my eyes, and there you were. What were you reading? The Annals again. Okay, but text speed could be slightly faster. I just wish I could just stop it and press spacebar to go through it. The Annals again. Did you know Mazwai claims the Holy Empire was founded by 3 wolves racing to heaven? Each one tore the throat of the other, and as the 3 fell to earth. Are you really interested? Absolutely! This is history! It's ancient tales of history, but alright, most people glaze over.
He began to talk with such passion that his eyes glittered, and he seemed to grow at least an inch taller.
See, we lift people up. Alaya? That was fascinating. Thank you, Mark. There's hundreds of volumes like that. Sometimes I think there are 3 stories to explain everything, and none of them agree. Other times I think there's just one story that gets retold for every occasion. I'll walk you to the dock. Do you know Janiki Renba? But I know Renba, of course. Well, a little. Why? He was a roboticist? One of the best. One of the few. Did you say was? Has something happened to Janiki? I'll let you know once I find out. By the waters. Before you go, it hardly seems important now, but I found a line of ancient in the Annals of Mazwai I thought you might like. If you have time, that is. Always. Here, see what you think. Oh, I got Emperor and Empress for free, apparently. I know one of these words. I'll have to guess the other 2. Oh, no. Okay, he apparently knows Empress. Okay, so... I don't have enough data to begin breaking the language down. But if I was to guess, from wiggly lines and a hill and a wiggle and an X, that this is, well, buried or banished, buried or banished, buried or banished. So the end symbol is person, presumably. Emperors and empresses and everything. And there's a lot of these hats with ticks and hats without ticks, and there's a dot after that one, and a dot after that one, which he knows is Empress. What options do I have for the second word? I'm guessing I'm gonna go with banished and robots. Or perhaps buried. Because if that's a mountain, and that's under the mountain. The front piece is marked as a... maybe the dot marks it as a verb. See, this is a lot. It's not quite like Chants of Sennaar. Empress buried robots? I think that's correct. The robots were buried, mistress. I myself have only recently been dug up. But I thought there weren't any robots in the Empire. This suggests otherwise. Anyway, I'd best not keep you. Oh no, Huang! I hope you find Renba. No, Huang! Huang! Shall we proceed to your ship now? Have you sailed before 6? Huang! I have no idea, mistress. But I am keen to find out. No! Well, that's not narrated, and so we left the hallowed walls of the university. And the timeline came up. Okay, so right now, the present. See, this is why you can't pause time while people are speaking, because it is keeping track of the exact amount of time this playthrough takes, for reasons that I know because I finished the game, but otherwise. Huang showed me a passage from the Annals of Mazwai. Learned the ancient word for holy, learned ancient emperor, give it another robot, annoyed Miari. Miari wants me to find her friend. Miari gave me a brooch. Came back to Iox. Before that, I learnt that Professor Miari wanted me on Iox. Renba disappeared before that. Last heard of on Mercy around 23 days ago. Renba sent the brooch to Professor Miari before that. Old Empire period design. Renba must have found it some time before that. Carved with ancient symbols. Renba must have sailed to Mercy. And then, somewhere within this gigantic period, 6 awakens on Iox. And this is a terrifying line. The robots on Iox were buried in the walls. Some can still be heard. These robots people are just using for slaves and stuff. Buried in the walls. Still talking. That's how they find them and dig them out. Miari took me to Iox. It was on Iox that my tuition began in earnest. So, what's that, 17 and a half years ago, Alaya was brought. The University of Iox was established approximately some 100 years ago. How old did Alaya say when she was... So Alaya's like 33, 34. Apparently there's a period of time called the Grey Ladies Orphanage. The University of Iox was established just past 200 years ago, founded to study the events within the loop. It soon expanded to cover robotics, mathematics, hopper physics, and other fields. So the game throws you into a whole universe. Not a whole universe, but a whole nebula with all of the lore. I'm gonna dig through this, but eventually there will be gameplay. A tree was planted on Iox at some point in the past. The eagle-shaped brooch was fashioned. Chronicles of Mazwai were written. Mazwai was an ancient writer who documented the effects of the loop across the nebula. How Alaya dismisses the idea of the loop, if we literally have chronicles, I guess Huang's just taken a while to read them. The entire period of the Holy Empire, the Holy Ioxian Empire, based out of the Imperial Palace and ruled by a deified emperor. At some point just before that period, Six is buried on Iox, alongside a whole other lot of robots inlaid in concrete. And then Ancient Time. The only relics from the Ancient Time are fragments of writing. But on Iox, they believe the distant past will soon become our future. Distant past as in 3,500? 3,500, 600, 700, 800, 9,000. 3,900 years ago will soon become our future. Anyway. Scroll. That's as far as I can scroll out. Ages in general, please. Ancient Time, Ancient Empire, Holy Empire, Dark Age, and then Modern Age. Modern Age begins about 100-ish years ago. Significant events, Juan, my birth, there we go. Let's learn more about my life. There are so many tabs for this. Miari. Spoke to Huang. It's okay. So apparently a significant piece of each piece of the timeline relates to other pieces of the timeline. And I'm gonna dig through it all. That might just be this first episode of Heavensville. He's explaining the entire world before we even get on the ship to start decoding more language. Third robot. Oroi helped to launch the Nightingale. I need to become Alaya, okay? I would never have got it up to the rivers without Oroi's advice, but she didn't want to come with me, of course. This event happened on Elbereth. Finding the Nightingale. The ship was resting, half repaired, in an abandoned hall on Elbereth. For the longest time, I didn't tell Miari I had her. Do I pronounce it Miari? Or Miari? Who knows? Apparently I know Tappy. Oroi introduced me to him. He helped her to get started after I left Elbereth, providing her with tools and simple projects. I joined the university, began to study formally in the same group as Huang. I worked for Timur. Timur always had another job for me, and another reason for me to stay around. Miari takes me to Iox. It was on Iox that my tuition began in earnest. My first kiss is documented here. I don't know whether this is Alaya's memories, or whether this is all written down in a journal. We never thought we would leave the orphanage. Adulthood seemed impossibly far away. Miari visits the orphanage on Elbereth. What brought her there? I've never understood. Perhaps I need to question her more. This period of my life was called... I worked for Timur. Okay. I want to go back to specific events. Period of the life in the Grey Ladies Orphanage. Grey Ladies raised me and found me work from the moment I could walk. Meeting Oroi. Oroi and I became friends, sneaking around the halls. She stole screwdrivers. I stole books. My birth. I don't know the true date. The Grey Ladies gave me a day, different from the other children in the orphanage. Was my guess right? 34? 133. So close. So yes, I am someone who has worked in the orphanage. Timur later worked for Timur in his bar, washing up and fetching supplies. Who did I have my first kiss with? Doesn't say. Doesn't say at all. Anyway, that's been my life. Roy, how much do I know about Roy? Meeting Roy both friends. First kiss. We never thought we'd leave the orphanage. Sets up the workshop, talked about doing it together, but in the end, we had to do it alone. Or his daughter is born. She named her after me. I met Tapi. Guessing that's... I have forgotten a lot of these characters, but I'm guessing Tapi is Roy's child. He helped her to get started when I left Everett. No, possibly not. Oh, no, yeah. Husband. Duh. Providing her with tools and simple projects. Or possibly not. No, that's the first time I've met him. Roy's son is born. He works for Timur, I think. Lots of Elberethians do. And then Roy helped to launch the Nightingale. She didn't want to come with me. 3 breaks down. Every robot I've... I'm gonna have to go through robots next. Every robot I've owned has gone wrong or been lost, but 3 was worse than most. Roy buys 3. I never told Mary what happened to 3. And then there's 6 weeks on Iox. I've been given another robot. Call this one 6. So, the robots. What do I know about them and their events? Spectre Huang. 6 awakes, a robot 3, 3, 3, third robot, 6 is buried. Okay, so I don't get to know too much about Alaya's robots. 6 in particular, not that many details about him. I say him, who knows? Iox itself. Crown of Iox was forged. First made for the Empress herself. Emperors and Empresses. There's only 1 piece of data on the Empress. Phew. How much data do I have on Emperors? First Empress, and then last Emperor. Iox fell to invaders and the Empire was destroyed, but the Emperor himself escaped. His body was never found, and the crown of the Iox Empire was lost at the same time. And, of course, Iox fell. The Emperor's palace was stormed, the royal family murdered, the guard ships destroyed, and the nebula fell into disarray. Centuries. Dark Age. Holy Empire. Was this... Okay, I think that's... Okay. The Fall in particular... Okay, yep. Last Emperor in particular. I don't know that much about him. Okay. So much history here. So much history. All. The Fallers. Okay, hang on, there's the Fallers as well. I'll get done with almost every piece of data in the journal. The Fallers established power on Iox. The Fallers destroyed the Empire, but they never extended their reach beyond Iox. Generations passed in obscurity. And the Loop Temple. The Loop faith of the Holy Empire is revived. And then their protectorate got founded at some point. Initially encompassing only Elbereth and Iox, it soon expands to incorporate other moons. How many inscriptions do I have? I have. Huang showed me the passage. Learned the word for ancient holy. All on inscriptions, please. No, all on inscriptions. Brooch, Emperor, Holy, and then Huang's. Solvable inscriptions. I think that is just completely solved, isn't it? Holy Emperor. Okay. So that's now become solved. Unsolved inscriptions. Empress buried. Robots, they still have question marks. I'm guessing I haven't found anything. Yeah, okay. Here I am on Iox. Okay, now we can continue to the ship. I'm sure there's little bits of history I've missed here and there, but I want to dig around everything. Aboard the Nightingale. My ship is my refuge. It's the only place that's truly mine. I want to dig around every single piece of this game and do every single word. I think that might require a restart for some particular ones, but that's okay because it saves your progress. The journey to Mercy should be quick, mistress. Nice place, is it? I do not believe so, mistress. I believe it is a farmyard. Why does a roboticist go there? Oh, I thought I asked the question. I'm an archaeologist, not a search dog. As she told you, mistress, she is an important person. You are not. Mercy it is, then. It should be a quiet spot, at least. It is a moon of pigs and rice, mistress. Whether we have to go here before. Part of the Iox Protectorate, of course. I will prepare the ropes. And here, where next? Choose a location and plot a course. Mercy is a tiny rural moon. It's where Janiki told Professor Miyari he was going right before he disappeared. Why does a roboticist visit a rice farm? Could go there next. So how much do I know about it? Just those two pieces. Good. What do I know about Renba? Yeah, okay, I've covered all of that. Okay, I think Elbereth is my home. It's where I'm more up when I want to sleep well. But not today. In particular, I'm pretty sure I have covered everything that I know about Elbereth. Pretty sure I've gone over all of this. Okay. Pretty sure I've gone over everything about... Professor Miyari wants me to find a friend. I should at least try before I go back empty-handed. I know a lot about Iox. I know a lot about history. Pretty sure I've gone over everything, which is good. There is also located on my map an unknown site. The brooch Mari had to come from somewhere around the wilds of the Nebula, a site that Renbo had somehow found. Perhaps he was still down there. I don't know enough to find this site yet. Renbo finds a brooch in an unknown site, but we know it has to be past Mercy and not in the direction of Elbereth. And there's also Renaki. Renaki is a market moon, far outside the reach of Iox. I've never been there. So why would I want to go? No information known on Renaki. Okay. I plot a course to Mercy. Tiny rural moon. Let's go. So, these moons of the nebula in Ioxian space, in all space, sailing to Mercy in the Verdant Pass.
Mayari wanted us to sail to Mayerzi.
Mayari.
It was a short sail through fast waters.
Path turns right momentarily, mistress. So should we. So, I get to control the ship. And I can sweep the sail. Whoosh. And of course, I get talked to. I get talked to by. I call her the Nightingale by Six at the same time, which is annoying because I want to learn everything Six knows. In the same time, I also want to find her in a ruined hall in Elbereth covered in dust. I also want to navigate where I'm going. She must have been someone's prized possession once. She's mine now. Mine. The Verdant Pass. So basically, pieces of the map that I don't know also get added in as I sail them. So, the fact I can scroll out this far and pan the map out this far gives you a little bit of knowledge that this is not quite the full scope of the game here in the middle. And I think every time I bring up the map, Six might have a new conversation piece. You did not think to give your ship to the curators on Iox. My goodness, no, Six. She is an archaeological find, after all. No, Six. No, you're gonna give it. It's Mercy. Oh, you can see the greenery from here. No, I wanted to continue talking to Six. That's the problem with this game. You cannot move because everyone's talking to you. Mercy, Farming Moon. If Renber's here, I need to find him. And if he's not, I need to work out where he went. Ooh, the game starts off as it...
We stepped off the ship and into the mud. Mud covered the ground and rock.
Lovely ship.
And everywhere I looked, things were growing from the mud.
Someone who grew up on Elbereth
And some of those things had legs.
Has no idea. Look at this place. Really, Elia? Breathe the air! I cannot breathe, mistress. Use your chemical detectors then, Six. You are no doubt aware. Well then. Let's see where Renber's got to. If we're really lucky, he'll have found an old pot. And we just got here, pause and talk. So where do we start? There is a series of rice terraces. If we climb up away from the water, that should take us to the village. Six, are you just here to give me hints? Or do you actually care? You gonna talk to me? Well, I'm gonna pull up my timeline. Yep. Landed on Mercy. Now we've got visits as well. Okay. Just checking it's not gonna launch something on me. And now I can question again. Can you do a scan for Janiki or something? Mistress has mistaken me for a dog. Perhaps you believe if I had a scrap of clothing, then I could trace his scent. Can you do that? Trace his scent? No, mistress. If I see him, I will let you know. And then we go here. We leave again. Six, do you want to comment on anything else? Well, Elia does. How big is the village? Sizable, mistress. There should be plenty of people we can talk to. And then you'll have different things to say after each of those conversations. Elia, do you have anything else to remark upon? Do, really? What would Renner be doing on the moon like this? Wasting his time, mistress. I cannot imagine any robots of interest here. What about that big statue? Maybe that's a robot in disguise. Anything else you'd like to remark upon, Elia? Six, how long were you buried on Iox? I have no idea, mistress. I do not remember it. Oh? And you don't know why you were buried? No, mistress. I can only assume I was not needed. And sometimes you get to choose, like, if you wait, a reply or the other one. Or perhaps robots are not trusted. Perhaps, mistress. I have observed robots to be both more predictable and kind than most humans. You can remark, or you can question after a period of time. Sometimes it pops up, and sometimes they both disappear. I can't think of why they keep giving me robots. Every time I break or lose one, they give me another. They must take my safety very seriously. The university cares for your well-being, mistress. Do they now? Oh, I can't question that. And do you have anything else to comment on, Elia? Oh, no, I can remark on things now. No question, there can't be that many robots left. There were a few hundred in my cohort. How many cohorts are there? I lack evidence. I have some connection with my cohort, but nothing beyond that. At any rate, we would all appreciate if you took more care of your robots. Don't worry, Six. I'll take care of you. I'm gonna make Elia trust you. Because you're very important. Nothing. Oh, question or remark? I'm gonna question. I suppose there's nothing old here? No ruins? No ancient kings? No crumbled towers? Of course not, mistress. This is a farmyard. That doesn't stop that from being... Yeah, I'm gonna reply with... This is a waste of my time, that's what it is. Renber's probably back on Iox again, right now. Professor Miari would have contacted me if that was the case, mistress. He is out here, somewhere. Waiting. Don't say it like that, that's creepy. And now I can remark, or do I even more questions? No, I've got another remark left. Robots are stupid, that's the problem. Elia, no! They run well, up to a point. Elia, no! Then they throw themselves over a cliff. Elia, no! Throw themselves? Or are they pushed? Depends on the robot. I'm sorry, Six, that's the best I can give you. Please let me get on with the rest of the game. Nope, I've got more questions. What did you make of Renber's brooch, Six? The one he sent to Miari. I was struck by the craftsmanship. It seemed very fine to me. It is an artisanal product, high status. Oh, you know about brooch make? How high status? Hard to say. Possibly very high. Oh, perhaps it was actually owned by the Emperor. So it's valuable? Elia, no. Most likely. Mr. surely does not intend to sell it. No, the question is... Where did Renber get it? And why did he give it to the professor? I can question more things. How many moons are there in the Iox Protectorate, Six? At the last settlement, it was 23. More information further down. I think I know more about... zoom out. No. Mercy. Tell me about Mercy's timeline. I do not. I was hoping I'd get more. What's Six been feeding me then? Isn't that a lot to manage? 26? There are no threats at present. This no doubt eases the situation. No questions or replies to that? Nope. We're not done yet. Iox wants more moons in the Protectorate? Iox has sufficient income at the moment, mistress, I think. But the Ioxian population is not falling. Ah, what you're saying is that, unlike robots, we humans, like the animals. So what do the moons get out of being in the Protectorate? Theoretically, the support of the Ioxian Guard. But that is largely historical. Hey, that's my area 6. I promise, once we're done with all of 6's line... Elia, you have nothing to say? You have nothing to comment on? Mistress, if I may ask. If you weren't rooting in the mud, lost roboticists, what would you be doing at this moment? Question, reply. I'd be sailing the uncharted reaches of the nebula, looking for shipwrecks. There are places out there where no one's been for hundreds of years. There are echoes of ancient voices. But no. Instead, I'm standing in Pigmuck. Otherwise, I'd be scouring the markets of Elberth for interesting objects. Things have a life of their own, Six. Things survive. Things travel from moon to moon, from person to person. Look, I'm just getting all of you viewers caught up on Six and Elia's life and the whole universe. Does that sound silly to you? Things traveling from moon to moon? Hardly, mistress. We did it in the ship, Elia. I am a thing. I have just recently been on a ship that went from Iox to Mercy. Or maybe I'd be in the library with Huang, reading up on old translations. When the Empire was founded, they threw out the old way of writing. Erased the past entirely. But it's still all there. You just have to know where to look. You don't read Ancient, do you? Yeah, I would not know where to begin, mistress. It was really simple. You play Chants of Sennaar, this modern video game. Elia, do you have anything left to comment on? No. Six does now say, I must say, mistress, despite your cool manner, I am extremely excited to be working with you. I have never left Iox before. Oh. I cannot question or reply this. Six, it's now your turn. Oh no, I can remark on that now. Question. Would you recognize Renber if we saw him? Did you meet him? You know, like at any point in time? I believe he activated me, mistress. He is a roboticist. I suspect that is why Professor Myrie assigned me to you. Look, at this... Is that added to my timeline? I want to know about Six being unearthed. Protectorate, Birth, Timor, Third Robot, Six Awakens on Iox. No, okay. I'm not told. Add these things to my thingy. Oop. Six. I want to know more about Six. Nah, okay. I'm not told anything more about Six. Who I can question though. You met Renber then? I think I must have. I am unsure. My activation is very indistinct. Ooh. I can reply and not question. But he would know you. Perhaps. Humans sometimes remark that robots look very similar to one another. Despite the fact that I have observed humans obsessing over the difference between one potato and the next. Six, look at you! 5 seconds with Elia and you become a lot more sassy. This is why we're doing this game. I love Six. He talks so much, as does Elia, but do you like other robots, Six? I have not spent much time with them. But you have met some. A few. They have always struck me as rather predictable. Oh, Six. You're saying you're different. Ah, yes, we'll just leave the conversation off there. I believe these pieces of conversation are meant to come up as you're walking around throughout the village and everything, but I always felt in my last playthrough like I missed everything Six told me. I'd be walking somewhere, he'd start a conversation, and then it would cutscene to Elia walking into some other part of the village, or some other part of the ruins, and Six would get cut off, and I'd just lose all of the information he's telling me. Okay, are we finished with all of our conversations? Is there... Oh, no, but I do not have friendships with other robots, if that is what you mean. Would you like some friends? We could set up a playdate. I am quite content, mistress. These little off comments, not off comments, but little thrown away comments. We'll find you some robots on Iox. Mistress, it is not like you to fraternize with other humans. Of course I do. Huang. And Timur. And the professor, of course. Would you like me to estimate the percentage of the Nebula's population that accounts for, mistress? You do what you like, 6. I hope I have made my point. 6 got that ass. The next conversation, is it a liar or is it brought up by 6? Or have they finally... Oop. Have you finally stopped having conversations? Nope. Mistress, is something the matter? Oh, I think that finally means they've run out of data. I'm detecting certain elevated emotional markers. Like what? Shortness of tone, mistress. A lack of compromise. Markers. Are you serious? Humor is a weakness, mistress. Oh, we'll get you one day, 6. Okay. Are we done? Are we done? Can I walk on without being worried I'm gonna miss dialogue? Ah. If you robots are so ancient, don't you have the whole history of the nebula in your head somewhere? Yeah, perhaps some do. I do not. Oh? So, what do you remember? That pig. I remember my activation, nothing before that. Perhaps I had never been activated before. But perhaps you had. Quite so. Little conversations that go nowhere. But they give you interesting lore tidbits sometimes. Let us know if you've got anything more to say. Yes, a liar? I've never understood Professor Mayari. You know, she brought me to Iox from an orphanage on Elbereth. And now she keeps giving me robots when I keep losing them. I really don't know what she gets out of it. Perhaps she likes to be kind, mistress. Have you met her? My lifetime. Hang on. Okay. Really? Mayari? Kind? Have you met her? Yes, thank you, liar. She's strong. She's principled. She's organized. She's fair. And she's as kind as a thunderstorm. 6. You clearly have not met Mayari. Oh, he stood up. Do you have anything more to add? You're gonna have conversations? Gonna run out of them eventually, mistress? Exactly how many robots have you lost? They just keep giving me more. I don't know why Mayari wanted to take you with me. The professor cares about your safety. Then she certainly doesn't care about yours. I will spend the entirety of this first session just going through the details these two give me in conversation, so that I don't worry that I've missed something. What are the chronicles of Mazwai that Huang's always reading about? I believe Mazwai was a pilgrim sailor. She writes about the various places of the nebula, and about how the loop has acted in these places. See, this is incredibly useful information. Mazwai believes in the loop, then. Mazwai is an original source for the hypothesis, mistress. As much as anything is a source in the loop, mistress. Bootstrap paradox. Master Huang says the book became common shortly after the establishment of the Holy Empire. See, I want all of these details fresh in my head before I go about solving the game. What did you call your first robot, mistress? Presumably, you did not call it 1. Unless you were already planning your robocidal spree. Why does it matter what I called it? Olaya, it's long gone. It matters, mistress. Robots are ancient. We are unique and irreplaceable. Once unmade, we cannot be remade. Like a person, we matter. Robots are created. See? No one knows where or how. Somewhere distant. Sitting here, opening up my map, and closing it again. So Alaya or Six starts talking to the other. I get new information on my timeline. This is probably meant to show up in your playthrough as you just wander around and they talk. But I didn't get most of this because, as I said before, when you wander around, it cuts off the conversation when you get to an important thing. There's a lot of important things around. And there's some not important things around too. I gave it a name. My first robot. I called it Talene. Why do you look angry, Six? That is a girl's name on Elbereth. So what? I cannot imagine having a name. I cannot imagine it would matter, and yet I believe I feel the lack. Oh? What name would you like? I do not know. I will consider the matter. See, I have stood here on the second planet I've gone to, here on Mercy, and I just... These two will talk. This is the game. It's not the entire game. Oh. Well, they run out of things to say. He's going to consider the matter. How old is the Nightingale, mistress? I'm not sure. Almost 1,500 years old, maybe. Construction of the Nightingale. Fashioned somewhere on Elbereth, perhaps, or else for an Elberethian sailor. See? Valuable lore. Okay, this is not a playthrough. This is just hunting down every single piece of information in this game. Because it's a game about collecting information, so why wouldn't I have Alaya chat with Six as many times as possible? I think it's taking more times opening and closing the map each time for them to start talking. Is this it? Have they finally exhausted their conversational potential? Okay, I'm gonna take one step to the left. Now what you talking about, Six? Oh, I can talk about the statue. Hang on. New conversation? No, okay. I love these old moons. With their ancient stories. Who is that, for instance? One of the older goddesses? Well, I don't know, in our future. She's guarding the fields. Evidently, more than 1,500 years have passed since she was carved. Evidently? Goddess erected on Mercy. For ritual purposes, or perhaps simply to mark an important location. Reply. That's a long time. Relative to what, exactly? True. There used to be gods throughout the nebula. Even on Iox. Before the Empire was founded. I'm surprised Iox let this one stay. Oh? Okay. Have we exhausted the conversational potential of the statue? I have not. So, were you off while you were buried? Asleep? Is that why you can't remember it? I do not know, mistress. I cannot remember. Really? Maybe the roboticists wiped your memory after they dug you up? If I'd be buried alive for 100 years, I'd be mad. It was longer than that. 1,000 years, perhaps. But I cannot remember them. I wonder what else you used to know. Well, that's just sad. Kind of mean. Conversation. Conversation. Have we run out of conversation? Good. Okay. Now I can look at this door. Unless, of course, there is no way I'm crossing that, mistress. Robots cannot swim. You can wait, can't you? My power source is good for millennia, mistress. Waiting will not be an issue. Patience, however, is more limited. Well, get used to it. Tell that to my Irish. See, walking across this bridge transitioned into a different conversation. These two just want to continue talking at all times. If anyone ever says anything, I have to pause. There's something scratched here. The emblem of Iox. I suppose this is where the Mercian leave goods for the Ioxians to collect. You got anything to say, Six? Can I read this further? Can I? Oh, well, Janiki won't be hiding in there. See? Walking into the bushes. Triggered something. It's a big bomb. This moon produces a surplus, mistress. For what good it does them. Where does all the water here come from? There is a wellspring in the rock below us, mistress. Now we get to learn about wellsprings. The soil is permanently saturated by it. Really? Do tell me more. You're not going to continue your conversation if I open and close the map a whole bunch of times? What is a wellspring anyway? A source, mistress. Nothing more. But what is a wellspring? How does it work? Evidently it is a source, mistress. It has no mechanism, as I understand it. And then continue the conversation. A source of what? Commonly water. Also air. Continue the conversation. But where did the things in the well come from? They come from the well, mistress. I do not understand the question. Well, that's sick. No, I think you're just playing dumb. It's almost like whoever built you didn't want you to answer the question. Continue the conversation, or can I walk around just a little bit more before we get into a different conversation? Hang on. We good? Can I listen to all the bush conversations now? Rustle, rustle, rustle. Bye, Six. Promise I'm not leaving you. Is there any way to get you over here? Do not think so. Anything I can learn from up here, over here, over there. Looks like that's blocked off over there. But I can look at a genuine forest. A genuine forest. Iox can eat its bitter heart. Iox has one tree. Still, I hope Renber didn't run off to live in the woods. We'd never find him in there. There's just going to be a lot of shots of Elia pensively staring off into the distance. Yeah. As she just talks. As every single part of this game is just talking. I6. You're gonna... Oh, no, hang on. I've got to check on the other side of this in case there's something to look at over here. Okay. I really hope there isn't anything at the end of that. I6. Are you going to comment on the fact that I have returned to you? See, this triggers a cutscene. Walking just slightly to the left. I'm not controlling it right now. That's a cutscene. Walking up that slope.
Smelled earthy and sweet.
And if Six was saying anything, it would have been interrupted by walking up this slope. This moon seems most poor to me. There are no proper buildings. There is mud everywhere. You've grown soft on Iox. This is normal. Good, even. These people have everything they need. To me, this place seems barbaric. Oh? They have plenty to eat. That's a good start. I did not intend to give offense, mistress. I am sorry if I did. No, not at all. Forget it, Six. Just maybe keep your voice down. Yeah, don't offend. Yeah, don't call them barbarians to their face. Any more conversations about this topic? Go. We now converse about the statue again. She dominates everything. Elbereth has a statue like that, sort of. It's just a pair of feet. Iox must approve. Although I understood they had destroyed similar statues on other moons. I'm gonna continue the conversation. Okay, what if I walk? There is some rice. I must comment on the rice now. Do they grow anything else here? It would not appear so. Do you have any other conversational tidbits for that? I'm gonna be like, this game scarred me. I'm like, I need all the dialogue. A warehouse. I thought I saw her face at the window. I didn't. A woman. She ducked out of sight. Well, you are just a random stranger come to the moon to look at things. Six, do you have anything to comment on about that? No, okay, good. Is there anything else in view? Let's go look at the statue. Come along, Six. Can you fit along that? You can. Very good. And as soon as we step near it, there's dialogue. Look at this thing. Beautifully crafted. Six, do you want to comment on that? Something's carved here. Someone's carved something here. Symbols in the ancient script. I might be able to translate them. Wow. Nope. These glyphs resemble my word for emperor. Well, that's right. We're still being taught how things work. Someone who is so we've got personhood, uppiness, bits and pieces. That's holy, so a bit of goddess, and they say there's no related words to this one, but the Buried had this at the beginning to mark it as some kind of, who knows, but I'm guessing she's come some kind of fertility, but maybe it's water. Does holy water goddess make sense? There's certainly plenty of water here. Hang on. Found stuff at the base. She's guarding their most precious resource, keeping it all fertile. I did identify the water goddess. Pause. Wait for things to update. If I identified that, does Six have anything to comment on about it? We identified the water goddess. In particular, I read some ancient script. Can I... Unsolved inscriptions. Is this still... like the lovely zoom in? Okay. I've forgotten exactly what the thing is what it looks like when I do unlock things. Anything around the back of her? Nope. Oh, apparently yes. What's this? Almost buried in the grass. A shard of crystal. Does it mean anything to you, Six? Purple. It is most curious. This moon does not contain any crystals of this type. But the brooch Master Renvar sent to the professor does. The mineral is the same. So Renvar brought this shard from somewhere else? That seems likely. Perhaps we should return to the ship. Maori told me to look, so I'm looking. Commendable, mistress, but this shard does not come from here. Collected enough evidence to infer a hidden site exists. Some are in cyclones, but I don't know enough about it yet. Really? Look, the crystal moon could be somewhere in here. I'm going to go and talk to everyone, because who knows, they might have some pieces of ancient inscription. Come along, Six. Oop, I can look at the upper field. Or maybe I am walking to it. Six, do you have any commentary on the upper field? You can manage that wood plank just fine, but not across water. You scaredy cat, Six. Yeah. Commentary? Good. I appear to have gotten through all of the commentary they could have. Get to actually play the game. A villager. Approach a villager. Good faith, master. Apologies, Ioxie. Oh, my pigs need me. Please, if you could just... Mercy wants to talk to me. The locals don't seem surprised to see me. Or to see you. I imagine robots collect supplies from here routinely. The locals I note also do not seem pleased to see you. Humor is the lowest form of wit. A6? Did I do something wrong? You came here. Perhaps that is all. Yay! Xenophobes. On our very first... I'm sure these backwater farmers definitely appreciate me. I hoity-toity Ioxian with my robot wandering around. Even more ice. Just lying around. I could scoop enough into my bag to feed an Elberethian family for a week. No one would even notice it was gone. I've heard of Elbereth. It was a moon of thieves, mistress. I'd assumed it was a slur rather than a strategy. Why can't everywhere be like this? Enough food, enough space, water to spare. Indeed, mistress. Indeed. Look at us. We live in a dystopia. There's nothing special on the outside of this rock. What about in this basket? Towards the village. Up this way. There must be someone here I can talk to. That lady immediately turns around. I'm gonna walk down this path here. Nope. Goodbye. I can't indicate anything with my mouse because it takes it away at this point. I don't think my mouse is shown. Unless it's in the translation screen.
This was what passed for a street on Mayerzy.
Mayerzy.
Buildings on stilts, jumping out of the bushes like children. It was so quiet.
Could retire. If Renvar was here, then someone must have seen him. This place is small and full of people. If they will talk to you, mistress. Someone must have seen something. Good faith to you. Are you a lost Ioxian? You and your robot pig don't seem to know what you're here to take. You're the first person who talked to me. If it helps you to find your way off Amu, the others will forgive me. You should head up to the well. Should I? That's the heart of our village. Okay. You're just gonna wander back and forth, occasionally talking to me? No comment. Okay. Oh, nope. Time to comment. What would Janiki be doing here? There aren't any robots on Mercy, are there? Possible. Questioning and remarking about everything. There's not many people tending to all of these crops. Plants are not like pigs. They do not require constant husbandry. Oh, and you know so much about it? What do you know about pigs? I meet people. They are also livestock. 6, you cannot accuse me of making jokes and you are not. Anything else I've got a question now that I've gone up one single slope? Why do they build on stilts, do you think? Surely it doesn't flood up here. The mud, perhaps, mistress. Or perhaps animals sleep underneath. Learning. The only way to learn is to wait for these two to have a conversation. Ugh. I stepped in something. Mud, mistress. You know what mud is? 6. Of course, mistress. Will your tracks cope with the mud? Of course they will. They clean themselves too. Oh, look at you, fancy robot. I'm gonna have to... Well, my shoes don't exactly look like I've ever cleaned them, so perhaps not. Any other short little conversations we're gonna have? Double mapping for Master Renber could be in any of these buildings, mistress. Do you intend to search them all? Yes, 6. I'm finding all the things. Do you have a better idea? We could look at a village center and inquire. 6 to be you, 6. We're finding all of the secrets. Converse with me. No? We're finished conversing. I can now walk towards the village center. Yes. Oh, good faith. I'm looking for a well. If you head uphill, you'll reach the pool. Down from there towards the houses, you'll find the well. Goodbye. Thank you. Do not get lost. Please, leave as soon as possible. 6. I get the feeling these people don't like us. Those high-handed Ioxians who tax these people for their grains. No more comments. Approach the well. Hang on, no, there's other places to go to where I'm not welcome. Hi everyone, I know I'm not welcome here. Look at things. There's plenty of rice stored up. Elbereth should move itself here. I believe that is exactly what the Protectorate exists to prevent. Oh? Is there any more conversation on that? No, okay, that's just a short one. Unless it takes a double opening of the map for you to comment on anything. 6. Oh. Ooh. No, nothing here. You sure there's nothing under the leaves? What did I think I saw? Animals, look at all those animals. By my faith! It stinks here! I do not believe pigs are known for their hygiene, mistress. What they do specifically. Good faith to you! You're gonna question why? Yes. Okay, you're not gonna question why I was in your pig pen? I was admiring your statue! Who is she? Kibenya. She blesses the fields. Well then. Iox doesn't object to you having a god. Ioxans take away our rice. The statue was rice, perhaps they could take it away as well. Well, they would take it away as well. Good faith to you. No one of Mercy wants to talk to me. Identified water goddess. Did I though? Did I though? Because that man just said, bless the fields. Light snake death. Childstone you. Okay. I think I only ever get those options. I don't think it... I think it always gives me the options and one of them's correct. Kibenya. I've never heard the name of any of the ancient gods before. I didn't know they even had names. I wonder what Kibenya means. Mistress? All names mean something. Alaya, Mari, Huang, even Renba. Wonder what Kibenya means. Okay, so while I'm replying and questioning with Q and R, I think if the second option pops up, it's a side path that will eventually come back to the first option, which is one that will be like filled in circle rather than empty circle. There is so much content in this game. So much content. Look at these people using an axe. And some of it is available by, like, you know, having the actual interact icon available. And some of it is just you walk up to a thing and it's like, oh, well, there's an event happening now. And I'm like, oop, nope, the control's been taken away. I'm going to the well now. You just end up going places. And it's like, what about the rest of everything?
Paths met at the heart of the village. I could imagine them all, sitting around here in the evenings, sipping Raku and singing.
Raku?
It seemed nice.
That subtitle said Raki. Stranger. Greetings. Gonna be pleasant to everyone I come across, aside from Maori. Greetings to you. Welcome to Mercy. Mercy. Have you come to trade? What do you have to trade? Oh, I should have buttered them up. What a beautiful moon you have. What do you have to trade? Yeah, if you do not know that, then you do... Oh, no. This is a beautiful moon you have. I'm gonna butter you up. It is wet enough for us, certainly. I want to trade you the moon. Have you seen any Ioxians recently? Aside from me, don't make the... I have seen you. Well, good for you. But you are looking for someone. Who? A man named Janiki. Keep to honesty, keep to truth. I have not heard of anyone by that name. Good luck with your search. They say the nebula is wide. You gonna comment on that, 6? Helpful. It appears Renbo was never here, mistress. Shall we leave? I don't understand. If he wasn't here, what did he say he would be? See, this game lies to you as well. Someone must know something. 6, you're looking very sad. Don't worry. We will eventually get to important things. See you talking to the man. Ooh, an inscription. Is that an inscription? It has been mostly scratched away. More characters in ancient script. Why are they writing on the well? Hey, look at that! Water god, water, holy water person. Holy water? Is that a single word? Most likely not. Ancient scribes didn't always trouble to put in spaces. I don't think they expected their writing to be read. Look at this. Holy water. The two pieces fit together. That's the word for water. Short and simple. Almost a pictogram. Tick. And we know holy. Holy water. Yay, holy water. What do you see there? Can you read this inscription? A child could read it. The symbols simply say, water. I'm not going to insult you. Thanks. Okay, so 6. You got any commentary? Talk with this person. Another thing. Yes. I have a brooch here. Do you recognize this? I recognize the symbol of our Ioxian masters, of course. But do you recognize the brooch? Let's not bring up the Imperial. No, he does not recognize the brooch. No one here would own a brooch like that. Not every slave must wear their chain. You really don't know. I found a lump of crystal. Please stop showing me everything you carry in your little bag. Good faith to you. Well, good faith to you too. 6? Am I really that annoying? Yes, obviously. Fields. Nope. We need to go up. We need to go up and investigate every little bit. Come on, 6. Let's try this way. Time to go, mistress? Hang on. Not just yet. Is this... Yeah, no, hang on. Wait, what do you mean, time to go? You're literally just going in a different direction. Also, 6, you have to be so bright. Oop. You are from Iox. My name is Elia. That doesn't answer your question. Then you are not her. Not Mayari. Not Mayari. I do know her, though. I'm sorry. I should have said nothing. No, I do know. I do know. Back. Janiki was here. I can't see why they'd hide him. Where are you going? Doesn't sound like they like Ioxians. Perhaps they murdered him, mistress. 6. 6. Do you think that's likely? It's your species, mistress, not mine. I have no conception of what you are capable of. 6, you are so sassy. I'm not sure if you're intended to be written like that, but we're going after that one. Come on, 6. Must find that woman. Did she go down from here, or did she continue on round? Ooh, there's more water. Just sitting here. Look at that. I'm very glad that was in the game. We have so much to talk about, 6. With this water just here. Well, I think that lady's house is down there, but I'm going to check out this house too, because we must check out everything. Hi, villager. I'm not approaching you. I'm specifically going around you. Some pigs. Alright, I think I do go down. Excuse me, not approaching you. I'm going to go to that lady's house. There is more to be found somewhere, hopefully. She is not here. Ma'am! Ma'am, where do you live? Ooh, perhaps you live over there at the furthest bit of the field. That would be unfortunate, but likely. No? Maybe she does live up there. I honestly can't tell which one of her... Okay. I will find someone, I'm sure. Like... Oop. I pushed past a pig, and I must remark. Definitely no robots here. No reason for Renber to come here at all. I don't imagine Renber met that woman on Iox, after all. Conversation. Go down here. To this last bit of house that I have not... Ooh, it's open! Question. So if there are no robots... Why are there ramps everywhere? Iox uses robots to collect produce from moons in the Protectorate. Seems like it would be easy to stop the robots taking anything. Pull up a few walkways and put some stones in the way. I cannot imagine that would make any difference, Mistress. Robots are versatile. And also they're just sent in humans to subjugate the people. Yes, the universe we live in is not very nice. Hello! I really don't want to be seen sneaking into your houses. But I'm going. Oh no, I'm not allowed. Fine, I'll go around. See if I can't find. Oh, that's right. This was the house of the woman who was looking at me. Probably should have told her that I was my. Ma'am, ma'am, can I talk to you? Are you the villager? You're all moving about, and I cannot tell you who. Okay, well you're not a. Good faith. Please keep it quick. Do you know that other woman? I don't want to talk to you. Yes, I know. Neither do I. I'm looking for someone. An Ioxian man called Janiki Renbar? You're expecting to find him hiding behind a tree. I just want to find him and go. Good faith to you. Where did that woman go? Me, they all look alike. And I know that's saying something, but... Automatic. Climb higher. Take me there. 6, if you have a conversation, I don't know how to stop this automatic climbing heights. Whee! Maybe that's the woman's house up the top there. I honestly cannot tell a lot of these people apart. I think they are meant to be generic villagers. She's gonna have a hood on, actually. I've just remembered her appearance is that she's the one with the hood. So perhaps I will find her like that. Unless it was just dark hair. No, I can't speak to you. Find the lady with the hood on. Unless she just disappeared. Also, hurry up, 6. Also, can I walk in the water? I cannot. Someone's left their thongs here. And a book. Must be a nice spot to relax. There is literally so much packed into this game. Like, what the heck? Environmental storytelling of a pair of thongs by the pool. Hello? Anyone? I met a strange lady. Did I note it down in my journal? I don't know. Hang on. I need to cutscene into the well area. Okay. Did I note it down in my journal? I met a Marisi woman. Yes, okay. Perhaps I could have learned more from her. Perhaps I could have. She's not gonna tell me that I could find her again, perhaps? User! Another thing. Yes? No one else in this village would talk to me. And this surprises you? Please, leave us be. But sir... Oh, I'm not finished with you yet. Well, you bumped into me, so... Is that so? Why aren't any of you working? Ha! Now you sound like someone from Arx. Good faith to you, lady. Please, leave us be. You're the one who bumped into me, actually. And also, I just wanted to find that lady who I definitely could have got more information from, but I didn't know how to go about it because I didn't really want to lie to people. Ah! Come on then, 6. Are you ready to go now, mistress? No. You still have more to do here. You're gonna ask me this at every transition point. I'm guessing she just faded away. I forgot how frustrating playing this game was. It's a good game, and the mysteries are great. But let me control the dialogue I'm listening to. How fast I go through it, etc, etc. Because it's just like a little bit awkward. It's just that little bit awkward. So she... Well, no, the strange lady was watching me from that house over there. She has not returned to it, so... Perhaps she has wandered off into a lower field? Come along now, 6. Really not that difficult to navigate these things. You're just slow. That I honestly cannot tell. She is just kind of standing over there. Perhaps she is waiting again. I don't know if she's the right person. Hello, do you have a hood on or do you just have duck hair? Looks like you have a hood on. Okay, I found the lady again. Hello, you're really tucked away here in a place that I can't actually walk to. Ma'am, how did you get past these impenetrable reeds? Really surprising. Come on, Six. I have to find some way around to her. Can I walk through this bit? Can I walk up this bit? No. The game would like glitching. Can I walk through? I probably can't walk through the water. Is there a point at which I can remark that she's over there and I'm like, oh, what's she doing? Where's the ramp down? 6. I don't want to go yet. I want to remark on that woman who's watching for people. Ma'am. Oh. Ma'am, I need to talk to you more. Ma'am, I can see you there. Don't make me try to find a way around. That's rude. Bye, Six. I'm guessing these are also impenetrable plants. Oh, I'm having great fun. I foolishly have decided I want to get all of the information from this game. But I can't talk to that lady again, so all of my plans are ruined. She could have told me so much law. Back to the ship, 6. We've done all we can here for now. No, we couldn't. We could have pushed past that stalk and talked to that lady. Dang it. I did a lot of stuff. I translated some words. But I didn't get... I should have lied. Aboard the Nightingale. Someone left a shard of crystal on Marcy. It might have been Renba, but if so, why? Was he making an offering or leaving a message? I don't know. I've honestly forgotten this Renbar character. I am quite certain in my analysis, Mistress. The crystal we found, Mistress, and the element inside the brooch. They originate from a moon somewhere on the edge of the cyclones. I've never been that way. No one has. Those are wild rivers. I wonder, what exactly did Renba discover? Dangers of sailing through a hurricane? I don't want whatever happened to Renba happening to us. I will do my best to keep you safe, Mistress. But presumably Renba had a robot with him, who will have said something similar. Dun dun dun. Plot the path to the possible site of the crystal moon. Chunk of crystal Renba left on Marcy come from distant backwater of the nebula. Did Renba really travel this way? Could search for this site now. Okay. Plot a course. I'll take a right, and then a right, and then a left. And then we'll avoid all of the wiggly bits of the cyclones and get to the crystal moon. But of course, 6 will talk to us on the way. And all of that juicy lore will be completely missed, because his conversation will cut off when we get to an important bit. Whee! I see the force of the river is fastest in the middle, Mistress. Yes, that's why I'm going slow. You don't need to tell me how to. On the surface it appears the same, but there are deeper currents below. Yes, but you don't need to tell me, 6. I know how to sail. You will need to turn left ahead, Mistress. I know, 6. My goodness. Okay, I'm sure, like... Are there other ships on the rivers, Mistress? See? See, this is valuable, important information. I have not seen any. Slow. Slow. Talk on, Six. Talk on. Oh no, I've got to reply to you. There are other ships out here. Taking a right through the cyclones. Right, right. Left, left, right. There are other ships out here. But you rarely see them. Everyone goes at the same speed. So no one ever passes you by. Or you really couldn't be bothered making ships collide. It sounds lonely. It sure does. People who like people stay on the ground. Looking at these two having to share a ship together. You do not like people, mistress? That explains a lot. Any of these paths? There is one to the left it doesn't recommend taking. Tell me. Is there anything you do like? Okay, we're on the upper path now. Mr. Turning, reset. No. This goes through the Crystal Moon area. Don't worry, game. You know, oh, vicinity of the Crystal Moon. I think the Crystal Moon is close at hand. I know more about everything, game. Stop tutorializing me. View possible search locations. Oh, well, look at that. We would have had to take a left turning we wouldn't even have known about. What turning do I need to... no turnings. 6, are you going to continue your conversation about me being lonely? Or have I lost that information to the rivers? Because the game is like, we don't know how to pace our story out. I wanted those pieces of information. Flap, flap. There's a rock up ahead. What have we found? Oh, I don't know. Above the Crystal Moon. Why would anyone come to a lonely spot like this? Well, if you hadn't interrupted my lovely conversation with 6, where we discussed about how I'm so lonely. We have arrived, mistress. The moon below us is rich in purple iolite crystals. But there is no surface flow. We cannot land the ship. But Render must have gone down somehow. Indeed. Tracked an airless moon just now. Most likely he used a hopper. We might do the same. Is it safe? Not really, mistress. No. This moon does not have any air. I will have to go down alone. If there's no air... How did Renbert go down without a robot? It would have been impossible. But Renbo was a roboticist, mistress. He must have had a robot with him, despite what the professor told us. Please wait here. Just don't take too long.
A moment later, the robot was gone, and I was alone in the dark.
You very much clearly have the lights on. What were you up to, Renba? You didn't find robots in Mercy. What did you find? That one lady who wanted to talk more about her. If I flew away now, I could be rid of that thing. No. I'm making you like 6. You have no say in this. Mistress. Sakes, what did you bring aboard? I found something, mistress. This is Janiki's? The probability is high. I believe the moon below us was once a quarry. But this box is no artifact. Renba hid this box down there? It was a superb hiding place, mistress. But whether it was Renbra's doing or not, I could not say. We're gonna talk more. Nope, we're gonna talk more before we look at the box. We could take it back to Mayari. No, we're not. I do not think Renba is inside, mistress, unless he is in carefully arranged pieces. I'm supposed to open it now and find out? Egress. I cannot, mistress. Really? Next piece of conversation. Okay, we can talk about the box now. You'd better not have damaged it. It appears intact to me, mistress. I hope there isn't a snake in here. That would be a weird thing for Renba to have put in. A roll of cloth. Question. Why would Renba hide something like this? He must have had a reason, mistress. His choice of hiding place was extreme. Hang on. This is Ellie's moon where Renba hid his stash of secrets. Light of Renba's cache. There's gonna be Renba's trail. Eclipse of info, further hidden site exists. Renba takes a crystal back to Mercy. Site. Okay. Not too much. No more comments? No more comments. Thick fabric. Janiki, what is this? It's some kind of robe? It's hundreds of years old, and there's something stitched along the belt. Many characters picked out in a darker thread. Look at this! The purple robe! This is a long one. Let me think. Okay, if the thing is, that's the Emperor, and we've got dots and hooks and everything, scoops and raindrops, multiple things, who knows. That's got similarity to being buried. Prayers quickly, pilgrims remember. Oh, perhaps that one indicated the pilgrims. The people who were buried. That's kind of scary. Yeah, buried. Pilgrims. What does this double dash in front? Because it feels like verbing is this double dash in front, but it's there too. Oh, hang on. Is a person a dot framed on either side by this hooking shape and this hooking shape? This split upside down Y hooking shape and this hooking shape. So that starts a person upside down shape dot. This is a person who does a person thing. Hang on. Okay, so goddess is just. So a pilgrim is a. Oh, well, maybe the dot, an important bit. Maybe the person is the curved dot. And so the person who goes, because that makes it. Okay, so person ends there at the dot. Who goes, verbing with the double dashes, snaky line, mountain, which is part of Buried as well. Person who goes to Goddess is a pilgrim. This is a verbing about, well, a person who has this symbol, which is, that's very much prayer. Pray. And then it drops from above, it appears. I don't get why that would be we. Although it could be like indicating a group of people, so it all comes here together. We pilgrims pray. Is that something you would write on a robe? Emperor and holy, but that's just because I've got person in it, and we've only got religious pieces currently. Here pilgrims pray, it could indicate a place surrounded with other, I don't think it's light. Yeah, we pilgrims pray. Sounds like a decent thing. I could still change my mind, but we pilgrims pray. The question is, why did Renbar hide this? Found a purple robe just now. Added it to my journal. There's more in here. This is a copper coin with 6 sides. It's beautifully preserved. Nailless moon. I don't recognize the face. No emperor I know. It doesn't have an inscription on the surface. But I think this is from a different place than that robe. In fact, I don't think we've seen anything like this coin before. So this comes from a site that's entirely new to us. But that's not all. Every object. There's also a beautifully crafted small book. How did Renbar get his hands on all this? The binding is in fantastic condition. This book must have been part of some ancient courtier's personal library. Here's written in annotation on the side. Ooh, look how spaced out that is. Okay, so this represents gaudiness. So if that's person, then why does this smaller comma shape? I'm going to call this one the shepherd's crook that represents a higher being. And is that dot's different to that dot? Oh, maybe the emperor is the person who talks to, well, maybe not talks to, but who pretends to be a higher person. And that's apparently part of the thing that marks water, so maybe the start of that marks... So this one might mark, just as this bit marks a verb, in some cases maybe, this bit might mark a noun. So if that's water, I don't know whether the other back tick is necessary. Apparently, the second word doesn't look like anything I've seen before. Okay, I'm going to go through everything. And I've seen some similar words for this before. I think the game is still trying to tutorialize me, but please don't do that, game. So I think this is a verb. We currently have a book in our hands, so perhaps this dash is a book. That dash dot is a book. A book of some intermediary symbol. Whew. What's this one gonna do? Something. Oh, okay. This one's the one that I claim makes this a noun. But then are the goddesses just gods and goddesses and emperors just really knowledgeable? A circle in a circle. Future, old, every, all. Book of all knowledge sounds amazing. But I don't know anything like those circles. All I know is that why does it have a similar part to water? Why is water related word to this? Interesting. But pray and someone who prays. And, well, no, the religion of the Empire was the loop, not or was the ancients. Book of Pilgrim's Knowledge, Future Knowledge, Future or Should. Book of Should Knowledge doesn't really work. Book of Ancient Old Knowledge works well. Book of All Knowledge works well. I would have... Pilgrims does not seem to fit here. So all or every, ancient or all knowledge. Well, if you're encompassing a smaller thing, then let's say that that invokes the image of there being multiple things to consider. Book of old or ancient knowledge. This comes from the same site as the coin, I think. This new find should be useful in tracking down where these things originated. So these leads, or are these things what Renba was after? Wait, mistress. I will consider the matter. Can you work out where the road originated? I fear so. It is not a good location, mistress. But Professor Mayari was keen that we found Master Renba. And I am sure Master Renba is equally keen to be found. I'm not going to say he's already dead, so show me where. I'm not exactly certain, mistress. But I believe Renba travelled far from home into the Eye of Cyclones. Dun dun dun! Just updated. Triangulated the moon where the purple robe originated in the Eye of the Cyclones, apparently. So now I have enough information to find it. Beautifully crafted small book. Do I have a solvable inscriptions? Unsolved. No, it doesn't. It will probably let me know when I can solve these. Copper coin. Need to learn more to find its origin. But didn't we say the book was at the same place? But we know where the robe is. Not the book or the coin. Track down the Airless Moon. Renba hides a box on the Airless Moon some 26 days ago. Renba's ship is torn apart, perhaps. Renba takes her crystal back to Mercy, but finds a brooch, a purple robe in the Eye of the Cyclone, and hides it for some reason. Several artifacts on a small unknown room. Whatever he was doing, he definitely took a robot with him. He couldn't hop her down to the Airless Moon and hide it. The book is written at some point. Comes from somewhere out in the nebula, or maybe it doesn't. The coin is cast somewhere. Okay. Dun 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 dun. It's time to sail. Sail into the Eye of the Cyclones. No, I'm not going to go back to Iox. Ugh. I'll have to tell Professor Mayari that Renba's ship was most likely torn apart by Wild Rose, but I don't know how she'd take it. I could go there next. Or Janiki Renba found something impossibly deep within the swirling waters of the Cyclones. Is there still more to find? And is Renba waiting to be found? I could search around here and try to pick up more artifacts to uncover the site's precise location. Or I could wait until I know something else. I think we should take a little skirt around the edge of the Cyclones and see if those pieces where we can come out means there's somewhere we can go in. Well, look, it tells me there's a bit that I can go there. Come on, Six, talk to me, and then get cut off by me arriving at an important location. The Cyclones. It's such a cool setting because it's like Treasure Planet, which I loved. I loved Treasure Planet. Renba must have really wanted to hide what he hid in that box of his. Damn, the Cyclones make the rivers go fast. I wonder why. Whoop. We're taking a turn. Is the right turn? Huh? Oh, maybe that's just where a river joins in. Not a turn at all. I'm not gonna continue that conversation, 6. Ooh, we can see the inside of the cyclone. There's an exit out there. Whoosh. Hold on, 6. I cannot hold on, mistress. Oop. We're in one piece? Apparently so. Oop. We appear to be. Now we're taking the right turn. Slow waters. Whee! Into the cyclone! We're gonna question the cyclone while we're going so fast. How does such a fine robe to become... Hang on, 1 second. I need to take the next right. And then we're gonna go up and over and in, apparently. So there's not really that many choices in here. Just need to right hit from the center of a hurricane. Are we using hurricane or cyclone to describe this phenomena? The robe was no doubt made somewhere else, mistress. Whee! It merely lay here for some time. Whee! Our data suggests the eye of the cyclone should be around here. The river seems to have died. Yeah, they all go to the same place. But is there anything interesting, say, like, over at this rock? We're hardly sailing, but we are moving. I can't see which way to turn this bridge. Oh, I just wanted to check out that rock. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll have to choose one and explore. Or we could just take the one that goes directly to the way. We have a map, and we continuously update this map, 6. Like, you can't... I see it. There's something up ahead. A moon? There's there, but no upriver, mistress. We will need to leave the ship here and hop it down. Please do not be alarmed. It is quite safe. The eye of the cyclones. Will Renbo be waiting for us here, in the center of the storm?
The hopper fired, and for a moment I was gone. Not aboard the Nightingale, not on the moon beneath. It could have been a heartbeat or an hour. But I didn't feel the cold until I reappeared.
Pile of rocks, mistress, smashed together by the waters. It seems Janiki had a taste for places like this. I wonder why. Perhaps he did not like people. This way, then. I hope he'll be pleased to see us. Do you think we will find him? I prefer to believe that we will. I would like to meet him again. I do not remember him well, but I bear him no ill will. And now that we have arrived in a new location, I'm going to have to pull up my map, put down my map. We're gonna have another conversation. Right, 6? Nope, okay. Do not sprain your ankle out here, mistress. We are unsuitably far from help. Was that supposed to sound like a threat? Obviously not, mistress. My Arya assigned you to me to keep me safe, so I'm relying on you and your ethical core to do that. My ethical core cannot keep you safe, mistress. It merely limits my ability to harm you. By inaction, you mean? Naturally. Or ill-considered action, but that is less relevant. I can, for instance, knock you unconscious before you jump into a crevasse. Thank you. That's very reassuring. Indeed, mistress. Okay, it's been 2 hours, and I'm going to need to bring up the map and close it again a whole bunch of times so that Six can get all of his talking about this moon and everything here out of the way. So I think I will do that. Look, are you gonna have a... Nope. Or maybe they don't have much to say. Either way, it's been 2 hours, so I will end it here. But... it's fun. I just kind of... That was the tutorial, and I did a whole bunch of extra things that I didn't really need to do in the tutorial, but I want to get all the information I can out of this game, because I want to get every piece of language. I think that will be very fun. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, which will be thingy Chaos, and then Thursday will be Mortality, both Minecraft with my friends Day and Snook, and then Friday I might come back to this game, or I might play some Undertale with Snook. I really love this game, but maybe it isn't suited for streaming or uploading videos to YouTube, because if I want to get every little detail out of it, it might be a bit much to just sit here and bring up the map again and again, so that Six doesn't get interrupted by walking next to a thing, or having someone else walk up to me and interrupt his conversation. We'll see how I'm feeling on Friday. But until tomorrow, when I'm going to be playing some Minecraft, this has been Heaven's Vault, where pulling apart another language has been very fun. But talking to Six and getting all of the information out of the game is a bit more of a chore. Maybe I'll just play it having fun on Friday. But yeah, tomorrow. I don't have an outro. I didn't really intro this either. Goodbye.